Group A of the 2018 League of Legends World Championship can be argued to be the most interesting of the four groups, featuring the first seed from the LMS Flash Wolves, the Africa Freaks, the Fengfu Buffalo coming from the BCS, as well as G2 from the EULCS. In this video, I will be going through the tactical breakdown of how I perceive these four teams play. Starting with the Flash Wolves, the Shield and Spear is the default method of play for the Flash Wolves. This is a polarized way of attacking the bot lane by having a strong mid and jungle combination that is able to push out the mid lane wave and rotate to the bottom side of the map, control the bottom side jungle, take the first lane turret. The Flash Wolves have been doing this rather successfully since 2016 and have evolved this playstyle at MSI where they were able to repeatedly take the first turret and snowball the game from there. With the addition of Hanabi to the team, Flash Wolves have also started to adopt a much more similar playstyle to that of the LCK. On the raid side, where they have the access to the last pick, we probably will be seeing Hanabi play for them, where they could possibly last pick for him and set himself up for a bully matchup in the top side of the map, where they can have this dynamic, draft the scaling mid and jungle, and play to the other side of the map where the opponent's jungle and mid are not going to. By conceding mid and jungle priority, they enable a late game scaling insurance for themselves, and by not having a polarized matchup, they're able to match their opponents on the other sides of the map accordingly. The new addition to the Flash's arsenal will probably be this Hammer and Anvil style, which RNG, Roy Never Give Up, is very good at doing. We saw the Flashers pick this up much more in the summer split, where they had the setup in having MMD in the top lane, play a tank, be able to absorb pressure, much similar to how they execute the shield and spear compositions, but then this time around they are focusing on not necessarily attacking and busting the bot lane open, just simply defending it and waiting for a 2-item power spike before converging and attacking their opponents. Now for the Africa Freaks, let me just get this changed. There we go. For the Africa Freaks, we are looking at once again this yin and yang kind of gameplay that the Korean teams are very proficient at using. While they like to have the scaling insurance to force the opponent team to attack them, drafting strong team fighting, they have picked up the likes of Swain and Shen in the bottom lane, as we saw during the playoff run, and the likes of Quinn, Kennen, and Yasuo are all things that we can see being picked up by Kin, considered to be one of the better top laners in the LCK. While Africa Freaks are also able to execute a variant of the Hammer and Anvil as well, they are as they do have access to certain strong tactics such as a double TB strategy, which I call the bait and switch, in which they have the jungler hit to the bottom side of the map, play around the periphery, so that they get around the fact that this allows them to get around a scenario in which they do not have a winning mid and jungle matchup. This allows them to push in the bottom lane wave with the assistance of the jungler, have the jungler hit all the way back, assist the top laner, push out, and then set up for a double TP play with the sneaky ward right outside the range of the turret vision. PVB is probably the team that players are the least familiar with. Coming from the Vietnam region, shenanigans on blue and scaling on red is how I would describe this team. While they played a rather fiesta of a series in the finals of the VCS, on the blue side, they are known to be able to pull out much more innovative strategies, such as mid and jungle level 1s, to be able to have a hyper carry jungler and put them ahead of the game. Even when the meta move away from final strategies, they still will execute such strategies that would give the junglers strong early leashes to put them ahead, having the mid laner assist them on the Raptors before while the bot lane leashes the raid buff for them. Mordekaiser and Shin or perhaps Swin and Shen might even be pickups for this team, but we have to see what they will be bringing to the table. Zeros in particular does not play tanks, so even when they are executing the shenanigans, it is very likely that he is going to be playing the Urgot and Aatrox, or the Bruises in the meta in the top lane. Whereas on raid side, the team prefers to take a step back and force the opponents to attack them. Their bot lane in these cases would often draft the likes of Zion Rakan, or Ezreal and the Braum, or perhaps the Kai'Sa is the current hypercarry of choice in the meta, while they have Zerox pick up the likes of Fiora on the top side of the map, which is a likely response we will see to the current Bruiser meta. Rounding out the team, G2 Esports, they showed us a very strong outwards in game, where they will focus the team around getting perks as well as Yankos ahead. While perks performance has not been the most stellar during the playing stages, G2 seems to be most in the element when they can have the silence push out, rotate towards the mid lane, and be able to assist the mid and jungle in getting ahead. These four teams will start to play against each other, and we have to see who comes out ahead. I personally have Flash Wolf stopping the group, with Afrika coming in second.